Check. Hi. Still with us? Am I speaking too loud? Yes?
Which one?
I'll move back from the mic a bit. Okay. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Paige's husband. Brad was Pat's one and only son-in-law. I got to know her well over the last 8 years. I love her and I miss her presence in my life daily. First meeting Pat and Wayne was a little intimidating. Wayne is 6'5", ex-Navy, and I could tell that Pat was no pushover either. She was a fearless Jamaican warrior in a tiny little body. I found out quickly that if you were on Pat's good side, you were in like Flynn. But if she didn't like you, that's it, forget it. Luckily for me, she accepted me, and that over time, we would become close. Let me tell you, the day that I asked Pat and Wayne for Paige's hand in marriage, I was very nervous. But I'm so glad I did, because I've gained the best mother-in-law and father-in-law that I could have hoped for. Pat had a Jamaican background, and my only exposure to Jamaican culture was from the radio. In the 80s, this is what Jamaican was to me. Pass the dutchie on the left-hand side. Or, we gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then we'll take it higher. Anyway, I did not discover Bob Marley until much later in my life. One of the things that I loved most about Pat was her accent. I could listen to her speak for hours. It wasn't, hey man, me eerie. You know, it wasn't like that quite. It was more sophisticated. It was the most beautiful language rolled off her tongue in such a prim and proper way. You could hear the British influence, and her choice of words was always descriptive and entertaining. This gave her incredible charm. Anyone who has met Pat would know that she loved her children dearly and was a hard-working and devoted mother, always. Pat, you did a wonderful job raising these kids. Of course, Wayne too. Paige and Parrish are smart, caring, successful, and high achievers. She was so proud of them. Pat and I are both Libra, which means charming, diplomatic, idealistic, clever, great listener, fair, root for the underdog. So it would make sense that her and I would get along. She loved my garden, and I always loved to see her reaction when we brought her fresh cut flowers. Prim and proper comes to mind when describing her. She had a style and grace and was always dressed to the nines. Her cooking was outstanding. Her table was always set. She also loved music and was a natural at dancing. It was obvious that music took her someplace special, which I could very much relate to. She was so very caring and had a network of quality friends and family, many of you who are with us today. I could tell how much her immediate family loved her because Wayne, Paige, and Parrish were 100% there for her during her final time with us. Seeing the love within that family was one of the most beautiful things that I have ever witnessed. To you three, I am most sorry for your loss. I know it will leave a hole for a while. I'm so grateful that she accepted me. I will always remember Pat, her friendship, her support, her encouragement. To me, she was unforgettable.
I'll now ask Chris Trimmer to come up to say a few words. If the sun has shifted and you need to do a little adjustment now, you might be sweating over here. Well, he's walking up. Maybe move your chairs into some more shade if you want.
Hi. So my name is Chris. I worked at Addictions Mental Health Services with Pat for about 9 years. And I want to sing a song for you today, but I'm going to need some help. I have some sheet music. My lovely assistant here would like to hand it out. I have 15 copies. And I'm going to sing a song called Yellow Bird. And this was a song that Pat told me once was one of her favorites. So I felt it was very fitting to sing it today. So Carmen's going to come around. If you want to put your hand up, whether you know the song or not, whether you feel like you can sing or not, this is a great opportunity for us all to kind of have a little sing-along together. Okay, I'll tell a little story. When I started at Addictions Mental Health, I started on the crisis team, and I don't know, sometime within the first month or two, I met Pat. She was there on certain days at the Family Resource Center. Everyone had such amazing things to say about her. And once I finally met her and spent some time talking to her, I saw that spirit. And from then on, every time I had an interaction with her, that spirit would always just bowl me over. And I had the privilege of seeing, I'd meet with people, they'd come into the office. These are people who are, probably going through very challenging times, whether it's dealing with their own mental health issues, or oftentimes it was family members who were coming in. And anytime I spoke with somebody, especially if they were a family member trying to figure out how to cope, help their loved ones or help themselves even, I'd say, I've got the most perfect person for you to talk to. And I'd walk them over to the Family Resource Center, and Pat would be in there, and all I had to do was just poke my head in and say, Pat, do you have a minute or two just to talk to someone? Same reaction always, definitely. And it was a busy place. I'd go back to work, and invariably 40 minutes later, an hour later, whatever it was, I'd see that person leaving. Sometimes they'd have a big smile on their face, oftentimes not, but you could always see in the reaction that they felt like they were listened to. And so many positive things clients, family members of clients would say about Pat. And so she was just a natural. And so the reason I have a guitar up here is when I was working there, I had the opportunity to start a music group at Addictions Mental Health. I started with a coworker, and it was a really basic idea, a little selfish. It was kind of like, hey, I wonder if we can play music and get paid at the same time. And luckily our manager went for it. Thanks. And so we started just this music group. Nothing too complex, just a guitar, a couple shakers, and some sheet music. And we'd always go for like classic rock songs and just songs most people would know. And Pat's office, the Family Resource Center, was right next door, because we'd be in the front room where people eat their lunch. And after every single music group, she would have her door open, we could kind of hear her singing along to some songs, and she would just be so encouraging, like, oh, that was so good. And after a while, we kept doing this music group more and more, and I presented at a conference a little bit of research related to this music group, and Pat saw it. From then on, she became the #1 supporter of this group. So she would always be telling people in the community, managers at the organization about this music group. And it went definitely farther because of that encouragement and support from her. And so one day, because of this, I was like, Pat, I need to know what's one of your favorite songs? Like we gotta learn this for the music group. If you're listening every week, we gotta play this song for you. So she told me about this song, Yellow Bird. I didn't know it. It's a traditional song. I did a little bit of research. Originally from Haiti. It was kind of popularized in the 50s, early 60s, with a calypso version. So we're going to sing it. Carmen's going to help me out. But please sing along. That is the truest spirit of that music group. It was just people making music together, enjoying, finding the connection amongst everyone. Yellow bird up high in banana tree. Yellow bird, you sit all alone like me. Did your lady friend leave the nest again? That is very sad, makes me feel so bad. You can fly away, in the sky away. You're more lucky than me. I also have a pretty girl. She's not with me today. They're all the same, the pretty girls. They make the nest and they fly away. Yellow bird up high in banana tree. Yellow bird, you sit all alone like me. Better fly away, in the sky away. Pick a coming soon, pick from night till noon. Black on yellow you, like banana too. They might pick you someday. I wish that I were a yellow bird. I'd fly away with you. But I am not a yellow bird, so here I sit, nothing else to do. It'd be a great time to sing along. Yellow bird, yellow bird, yellow